Well, if you know anything about Gaffney, you probably know about the giant peachoid that is here, the water tower. People make jokes about it. So we wanted to dig back into our archives because we got a chance to talk to the artist who painted the peach the first time to find out what the reaction was then and what was going through his mind as he brought that icon to life. Down Peachoid Road stands Gaffney's prideful peach at 135 feet, towering over Interstate 85.
The peach has been in at least a dozen major newspapers. Southern Living magazine.
Wall Street Journal featured you twice.
Oh yeah, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times.
The Peachoid Water Tower, built in 1981, holds 1 million gallons of water, but people and press can't contain their love, hate, or general fascination with the striking structure.
We're celebrating the first water tank in history that has a personality.
You were trying to make this look like a peach. The car is going 70 miles an hour.
Artist Peter Freudenberg has spent decades with this landmark, commissioned by the Gaffney Board of Public Works in '81.
30 years that we worked on it. I don't even know if Michelangelo worked on a piece of art for 30 years.
And much like any work of art, everyone wants to either take a shot of it,
30 or 40 shades of peach,
or add it.
I've spoken, as I said on the radio a minute ago, in a lot of shady places, but never in the shade of a peach.
Obviously the butt of many a joke.
We can't repeat the image.
Yeah, we can't repeat it. The truck drivers had especially colorful conversations.
Peter has painted the peach on 3 different occasions, including the first time and the latest in 2017.
To get the peach effect, we used airless sprayers, and that gave you a fuzzy looking finish.
He and his longtime friend and former business partner Hugh Luck joined me via Zoom to reminisce on the peachoid and the process of bringing this icon to life.
Well, Peter was perfectly suited to do a large project like the peachoid because he always specialized what at the time were known as super graphics, which are just large graphics, geometrics and that kind of thing. And he always did a very, very slick, suave job on those, and he did a lot of those by hand. Peter's always been a big guy, if you think of it that way. He always thinks big, paints big.
By 1981, Peter already had this earthoid water tower in Germantown, Maryland in his portfolio. But how do you find the perfect peach?
Went out into a peach orchard, had a bunch of peach daiquiris. I asked these gentlemen to pick out what they thought was the best looking peach and have some more peach daiquiris.
Picture perfect, but then comes the process.
The first job I just visited, but it was a 175-foot hydraulic crane run by the guy that ran the crane for the movie The Abyss not far away.
Okay.
He could swing it way out so you could get a look at it and then swing you way back.
Challenge is the wind. The second time, it only took 3 days, I believe, to paint, but it took us a month to get 3 good days.
One of the hard parts about painting the peach is the thing is so big and round. If you're in one spot, you can't see above yourself. You can't see the rest of the peach at all.
Battling the weather and hoping the paint didn't travel to nearby businesses, including a car dealership.
We were very fortunate. The gods of paint shined down upon us and blew the wind diagonally, and we missed everything.
Peter, Hugh, and superheroic crews with a major task, but what a view.
Someone had to go on the top and rappel down to get the upper parts, which was one of the guys from the tank painting company at our direction.
He would climb up there on a spider climber. It was very bizarre. He's hanging onto the spider climber, and we're 10 feet away, but we're all 130 feet up in the air. You had to be there, really.
Everyone throughout the state, as I've traveled the state, and I do quite a bit of it, ask, have you seen the peach?
In 1982, the Steel Plate Fabricators Association named the peachoid the Steel Tank of the Year. What did you think when you heard that?
It was pretty nifty. We really had no concept of what was going on in the world of painting water tanks.
Social media, movies, and TV shows like Netflix's House of Cards has put Freudenberg's art in front of audiences he could have never anticipated.
You have to look at it as a piece of art because that's what it is. It was selling something subliminally, but it was a piece of art.
A piece of fruit, a piece of art.
The peach just keeps coming back.
Ripe with lessons.
The deeper and richer we made it, the better it looked.
A landmark marking its place in history. We wanted to make sure that we aired that story again. Peter Fortenberg, the artist that we interviewed there, passed away April of last year. And his obituary mentions the fact that he rose to fame because of the Gaffney peach. So the next time you drive past that peachoid, think about Peter as you do that. Of course, he served in Vietnam, received the Bronze Star. He was a Clemson graduate as well. There's more YC coming here live from our Zip Trip in Gaffney.